Hi guys, today we'll be going in depth into strings. I know we've heard about strings, we've spoken a little bit about it, but today we're going to go into in depth what strings actually are. Hi guys, my name is Richel Attafuah. I'm a second year grad student reading statistics at Miami University, and I'm so excited I'm doing this beginners for Python series. Let's get into it. So today we're also going to kind of understand in details what strings are and why they matter. We're going to look at indexing and slicing. We're going to look at immutability. We spoke about that in data structures a little bit. We're going to look at how to split and join strings. We're going to look at the F strings, look at escape sequences, and practice as we move along. So first, what then is a string? We've spoken about string a lot of times as text, right? And we put them in quotations, right? And you can use either the double quotation or the single quotation for a string. So remember during our code along video, we had an error because we had a string where we had not put in a quotation. So Python couldn't identify it as a string. So you can't just write words in Python just like that. You have to put them in quotations to let Python know that, oh, this is a string. So a very simple example is you can write whatever you want. Of course, I wrote my name and I put it in quotation. I wrote Python is fun. I put it in quotation and I decided to print it out. So let's see how that looks. If I had done those without a quotation, Python is not able to print it out because it's not going to identify, right? So now we're saying to look at what indexes are, right? We spoke a little bit about indexing. I'm going to go into details in this video. So take it like you have a beat with letters on the beat, right? And each beat has a position. Just have that ideology as we go along the video because that is actually what indexing is. So as I mentioned in the previous videos that Python indexing starts from 0. Normal counting, we usually start from 1, right? But in Python, we start from 0. Please have that in mind. Very, very important. So I'm going to take an example. I'm going to assign a variable named city, and I'm going to actually give it the string Cincinnati, right? Cincinnati is a city in Ohio. So I'm going to call that Cincinnati. And the first letter in Cincinnati for Python is index 0. Next is 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're moving from the back, like if I want to identify the I in Cincinnati as the last letter I, it's going to be -1, right? In Python. Very simple. So look at the example we have on the screen. We see that city square bracket, meaning we want to actually access the index 0, which is the very first word in Cincinnati, and that is C, right? And if we want to access the last letter, we use -1. And to be able to access a range of values, we just have to have the colon in between. And if we say from 0 to 4, it's going to start from 0. So the 0 is C, I, which is 1, and 2, C, 3. So because it's 0 to 4, it's not going to include the fourth letter, right? It's similar to what we spoke about in ranges, where you don't include the last number, right? So I'm going to print this out so that we actually see how this looks like. So you see the first one, 0. Let's see, -1. It looked at the last I. From 0 to 4 gave us the first 3 values, 0, 1, 2, 3. So it actually gives us the first 4 because it starts from 0, right? And if you don't put anything at the first and the second, you are saying, oh, give me the first to the last value. And the last one means the jump. Jump is how many steps we are taking in multiples of 2, in multiples of 4, in multiples of 3, depending on the value you put there. So what we have here is 2. So it's going to move in multiples of 2. So start from the very first C end at the very last I, move in multiples of 2, which gives us, so if I start at C, I move in 2, the next number I'm going to start is N, because I'm going to start from 0, C, 1, so there's 2, right? It's going to fall on N. So it's going to put a C, going to put an N, move to the next 2, move to the next 2, till it gets to the last I. That is actually what it's doing. And the last one is saying that, start from the very first end, and the step is -1. So it's actually just going to give us the reverse of Cincinnati. Right? Okay, so strings are immutable. Right? We spoke about lists being immutable. We spoke about in a dictionary, the values are immutable, the keys are immutable. So strings are immutable. Right? So immutable, I'm going to explain it again. It means you can actually change the values that you have in a string. So if I have greet equals hello, and I want to change the first index H to a Y, I can't do that for strings. I can do that for a list, sure, but I can't do that for a string. What I can do is string concatenation, which is actually adding 2 strings together. That is what I can do, but I can't actually change anything in my string. I hope that is clear. So I'm going to actually take out this comment and run that. You're gonna see I'm gonna get an error because I was trying to change the first value in the name hello to yellow, and I can't do that. I'll have to create a new variable and actually give it the yellow, or do the string concatenation I was talking about. So I'll have to actually comment that out and run it. Yeah, so with the string concatenation, I'm saying add Y to the index starting from 1. So the index starting from 1 is E, because I told you the first one is 0. First index is 0. So it's going to give us yellow, right? So we've seen a taste of concatenation. Strings could also do repetition. You can do a repetition of strings, right? So this is something similar when I was giving you guys a little bit taste of strings at the very beginning of the video. We saw how repetition works by just using the star symbol, right? So we're going to run this and see how it looks. So HA star 3, I told you star in Python is multiplication. If you've not watched my video, the earlier videos in the second Python beginner series video spoke about all these operations in Python, you realize the star is multiplication, right? So HA star 3 is just going to repeat it 3 times. Excellent. So we are going to look at some must-know string methods, which helps us in cleaning, searching, and transforming a text. So we have some key, I'm going to call it like inbuilt kind of functions in Python that really helps us with strings. We're speaking about functions a little bit. We're going to go in depth in functions in later videos, but we have functions such as lower, upper, which we can use with our string. So if I say dot lower, it means I want my string's values in smaller letters. If I say dot upper, I want it in uppercase letters, right? Dot title, I want it in title case. Remember title case, kind of like uppercase and lower cases together, right? And if you want to actually find or replace values within our string, we could use dot count. It's going to actually count the number of values. Find is going to tell you, oh, this is where this word is in this list of words, right? Replace is going to like replace a value with a value you wanted to replace. It's going to replace a string word with a string word you wanted to replace. That is not kind of like immutability there. It's just actually changing this whole thing to this whole thing, not changing something in it. Immutability is like something in it, which is a no-no when it comes to strings. I hope that is very clear. And you can use strings, these key functions in strings, such as start with, ends with. So find the one that starts with this, find the one that ends with this, and it's something that is very, very key in knowing strings. So we actually it's giving us an error statement here because actually have most of this stuff. We don't have, because we've not put it in. Gosh, we've not put it in. So yeah, because we didn't actually put our string in quotation marks, so it's gonna give you an error, guys. You see it? So yeah, then we're going to look at how to split and join strings, right? Just using the keyword split. So you can split with a comma, split with space, whatever you want. But with this example, we split with comma. So just dot split, right? So here it means we are splitting where there are commas between the list of strings. If we wanted to split where there are spaces, you can put it there, but mostly you want to split because you want there to be spaces between the words. So mostly you are splitting on something, maybe a value or a symbol or something, right? So these values, you can see the string like they are together: apple, banana, grapes. They are all kind of squished together. So dot split is going to help us to kind of bring some separation. That's going to separate where the commas are. So they are going to have apples with a space, bananas with space, grapes. And join is rather going to do the opposite. It's going to actually put them back together, glue them back together, right? So these are key functions we use when we are working with strings, which is very key that we have on our fingertips. I'm going to run this. So yeah, so we decided that we're going to join them with those straight bars. So that is how come we have those straight bars in our output. I know it's been a lot, grabbing in a lot, but we can do this, guys. So we're actually going to look at formatted strings, that is F strings. So F strings is actually really pretty simple. We saw that in earlier output and earlier videos, we actually use like concatenations with the additions, kind of put strings together. Instead of doing that, you can use the F string, which is pretty classy, I would say. So this is an example. I'm saying that I'm assigning the variable name to Richel, assigning a score, right? A variable name score to 95.6789. And what I'm doing is I'm using the F string, right? So that I can put these values into the string. And where I put the F string with the curly bracket, I can actually fix those values in it. So it's pretty cool. In concatenation, you just have the string plus another string, and it's going to kind of squish them together in a sentence. For F string, just you have your F, you have whatever you want to say, just put whatever you want to kind of join into the sentence in the curly bracket, right? And that is it. It's pretty cool to use the F strings, actually, guys. So this is how it looks like. So this is how it actually looks like. And one other thing we are going to look at is escape sequences and raw strings. So \n is for a new line, \t is for tab, and we looked at raw strings where you just use the R. We mostly do that a lot when we move to the Python for Data Science series, where we are going to know how reading in data is going to be simple using just the raw keyword, right? So this is just a taste into it. And how to use tab, new line is something that is very key, especially when you're typing in your lines of code, so that you know that, oh, move to the new line when you get here, which is just \n. So we are going to actually see a taste of that and see how that works. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on strengths. I know it was pretty long and loaded, but don't worry at all, because we're going to actually put whatever we've learned into practice in a capstone project. So don't worry, you're going to understand it, you're going to put it into practice, and it's going to be relatively easier as time goes on. Do check out my description box where I've put in a Medium post which explains whatever was done in this video in deeper dives and deeper details, and also do find the GitHub link which has this whole notebook where you can follow along, code along, and be able to actually understand this deeper. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Please give me a like, a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, comment, and just let me know what you think, what you want me to add, what you want me to do. Do follow me on LinkedIn, where I also post a lot of these tech videos which can also be very and super helpful. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next video. Bye.